Okay, we're gonna call this meeting to order, and Commissioner Casady, would you lead us in the pledge today? It's a memory test.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Right, we will start off the morning with public comment, 2-minute limit on comments to start us off with, and I'm just left to right. Matt?
Just a question, did you guys take away the public comment after the consent?
I think it's a typo.
Oh,
Okay.
I just left it off, my
Okay.
bad.
All right,
I penciled it in, so there will be public comment.
okay, all right,
I
thank
also
you.
forgot to put the dates of the meeting minutes. I don't know, I was having a bad week when I made.
But
the
I knew
agenda
which
last week
ones you
then.
meant.
Good, thanks.
So no, we did not. Any comment?
No comment, thank you.
Okay. Anything you'd like to say public-wise or ambulance-wise, which we can.
Public wise, personally,
Personally?
I guess it would be involve public works. We are having lots of troubles with people cutting firewood on our public roads.
Illegally cutting firewood?
Well, yes and no. Forest Service and BLM and Sheriff's Office can't seem to figure out how to catch them, but my main concern is Dobson is getting hit, and it's costing the county lots of money, because I've addressed this with Jessica. We go up and sand it, they go up at midnight, cut the trees down, leave messes instead of limbing the trees or whatever they're doing, they're dragging them down the road with limbs on. So I'm spending 2 hours a day picking limbs and throwing them, plus we gotta re-sand because it's all off the road. There is a school bus that runs that road every day. So, and I know District 2's got the same problem on the Old River Road. So just,
Midnight fire gathered.
oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, we had one arrest.
That guy was caught a month ago and he's back at it again.
Okay.
So just so you're aware of it, that I did get called out Saturday morning. Zach was gone, I was in charge, got called out to go sand the roads. A lot of it was because of that. So you were looking at 4 hours overtime on Saturday just to, I didn't have to sand, luckily I had enough on there, I just put it back on with a plow, but.
Are you able to take pictures?
I've taken pictures, Jim,
Okay.
and I've sent them to the Forest Service, I sent them to BLM. BLM guys, Greg has been really good trying to catch them, but
Okay.
he goes from Spokane clear to the Canadian border, so. Forest Service, last I heard, JD was down on the border patrol part, so she's down in Arizona somewhere. So they're taking everybody they can from all over to fill in on the border patrols.
It'd probably be a good question for legal, is if we could, go have pictures and actually charge someone
Well,
for the cleanup.
You know, it's kind of, there's posted that there no wood getting. They're not a legal sign, but it's posted, but, I mean, we're getting 25 vehicles a day between 4 and 8 in the morning going over that hill. And it just gives me a nightmare that you got somebody gonna come around the corner with a school bus and there they are, you know, and times might be where it's slick.
What time's that bus run?
She tops the hill about 6:15 and comes back at 7:30.
So more discussion, I think, with Jessica and maybe the sheriff's office on how we crack down on that. Thanks for,
It's, you know, it's all over the county, but those are the two main.
it seems to be chronic. Yeah. Thanks, Bruce. Appreciate it. Margie, any comment? No. All right. Old business, consideration decision of the minutes of the Commissioners' Public Agenda session dated Monday, last week.
27.
The 27th.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Everybody has looked at the minutes and entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved.
So moved.
Have a second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, minutes are accepted. New business, walk through these one at a time and then vote at the end. Beer, wine, and liquor licenses, none before us this week. County payables, we've all looked at those. Any questions of those?
Yeah, it looks good.
And it says payables.
Yeah,
okay.
that part right.
Okay. Cancellations, homeowners cancellations, we have none. Opioid settlement participation forms, and boy, am I glad she's here to answer questions, because even on social media, I have people asking me, what is the county doing with opioids? And that was a wide open question, I thought about.
Yeah.
So what are we doing?
Well, the opioid settlement, you know, as you know, we've given that to Panhandle Health to administer. Most all of the northern counties did that. So through Panhandle Health, we're able to go out and get like the, why is the word Noxalone? Narcan.
Narcan,
Both of
yeah.
those are,
Yeah.
they're both kind of the same thing. But to get those for law enforcement, for training how to use those, to get those out into the community for the overdoses that are happening. We're working on a grant with the prosecuting attorney's office, and part of that is with some of this, potentially with some of this opioid money, but also a new diversion program. If it goes through and we're accepted into the program, then there's a new way to handle that, to keep them out of the judicial system, but give them the treatment they need. Part of that is working on how to get professionals in. So mental health, behavioral health, drug health specialists are hard to come by. There's actually a statewide committee, the Behavioral Health Committee, that was started on how do we get those professionals into Idaho because of the problem that we're having with behavioral health issues. Unfortunately, Shoshone County is, well, we've made a good case in our grant application for that because of the influence from the metro areas, plus the just staggering numbers that we have for overdoses here. So that's, we're working on different programs to help bring that in, but through Panhandle Health, if it's opioid related, that is part of these settlement monies, is it has to be specifically opioid related. But there's the training for the community. It can go out to the schools. It can be for nonprofits. It can be for first responders, and to give them the Narcan that they need. There's awareness programs that are working. We're working on getting some telehealth so that at least there's some availability for the health services that, I mean, you're on a 6 to 9 month wait list. So if you're in crisis in one of these categories right now, it's sad what the wait list is. So we're working on getting some of those telehealth options in, which is another reason for yay broadband. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a
Yeah.
passion.
Stick to the subject.
Yeah, we won't get off onto that one there. So there's a lot of things working through Panhandle Health, and I know that there's things going on with the fire departments and with the sheriff's office and with all of our first responders. Plus Panhandle Health is working diligently in all arenas with that. So there's a lot going on, but that's a hard one. I mean, that is really a hard one to tackle, but there's stuff going on.
So didn't we sign these a while back?
They did. There was some of these, it's just a couple little words and then like
Revised
little
wording.
boxes that the AG came back and said we need to change this so that we're in compliance with the settlement agreements that were done. So it's still basically all the same. There's just a couple little words or these.
Same intent, but legally more correct.
Yeah, which.
And help me educate the public, since people were asking this week, where did the opioid settlement money come from?
So it's coming from anybody involved in some of the opioid cases, lawsuits that created the opioid crisis that were brought into it. So pharmacies, pharmaceutical companies, I mean, these are from pharmaceutical companies as well as Walgreens and Walmart, because they sold the opioids. They were a part of that process. So that's where all of these are coming from. And so far, I think we have 8, but I'm not certain on that. There's 5 here today, and we've signed previous ones. So as they all come into that settlement agreement, they sign on, and that just creates more money coming into this fund that we can use to combat the opioid crisis.
Thank you, appreciate that. So today you just need us to sign.
Yeah, re-sign.
Re-sign.
Yeah, the new revised ones.
Now, is this off of population of what percentage we get, or is it off of, the higher risk, like, Shoshone County is? How is it distributed? Is it kind of a?
I believe, I'd have to go through and look at the methodology again, I can't remember for sure, but I believe it is predominantly population. There is a formula, and there was, I gave you guys a spreadsheet before, there,
Yeah.
whatever our percentages of the state fund that's coming in, so they did it kind of by state and then broke it down into cities and counties for distribution.
Okay.
Which I think was population.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it was predominantly
I think Don
population.
Duffy said that when he was here too, that meeting had a lot of information about what this is for as well.
Any further questions from the board?
No.
Okay, any further comments on that? Okay, all right. Move on to our rest of our consent agenda, and then we'll come back to the whole thing. Resolution 2023-5, approving credit cards, so just a change in use, taking people off, putting people on as people are no longer working here. Has everybody had a chance to look at that resolution?
Yes.
Okay, no questions. So then, the treasurer's statement, the Shoshone County Treasurer's statement of cash balances as of February. Everybody had a chance to look at that? Any questions?
Yes,
All right.
no questions.
No questions? All right. Then at this time, I would entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda.
So moved?
Second it?
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we unanimous consent on the consent agenda. And then we'll have a second shot at public input, just to mix it up. I'm going over here and working backwards, man. Okay, I'm just gonna smile at you, cause I know you'll say no. Bruce, you've said yours. Anything this time?
Yeah, this opioid settlement, if I remember right, it's the same one a couple weeks ago. There isn't a lot of money in it, right?
Not yet, it comes in, it'll be for 18 years, I believe it
Yeah.
was, that we'll be receiving money from each of these every year.
Every year, but it, yeah, if I remember right, it's less than 50,000.
No?
No,
Is it over
it's
that?
128 or something like that right
Okay.
now. And it's all out there on that sheet that I gave you
Yeah.
that day has the website, so you
Yeah.
can go and
I'll
look at
take
those.
that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we appreciate any and all sources of funds,
Mhm.
so thank you very much. All right, we have no further business there. There is no executive session. We have no indigent cases before us today, correct?
Correct.
All right, and so with that, I'm going to, I guess we're finished, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll call this quits. I just lost the word I wanted.
Adjourn.
Thank you. I was so busy smarting off to the grant lady over here, I forgot what I was doing, so. All right, thank you, and we'll have another meeting at 10 o'clock.